Hello, guys, welcome back, and today we're gonna be talking about Fate, Remnant, Collide. So, yeah, let's begin. So, we move to where we last left off, where we currently see Rex and the rest of his team basically, after class, where they're currently, doing their own thing, as Rex would say this. So, guys, what do you want to have for dinner? He would say, as one of them specifically, Tina said this. "Oh, I know. How would you try and make fried rice?" She would say, as he would say this. Fried rice? Huh. Never, never thought that you would be that type of girl. He would say, as she would say this. Well, I've been always wanting to try it for a while. I mean, I heard how amazing, fried rice from Mistral is. So, as he would say this. Sure, I can make it. He would say, as after saying that, he would say this, but I need to change my clothes first, he would say. As after saying that, he would start going to the bathroom, as he would start, changing his clothes and also, taking a bath as well. As one of them would say this, specifically Walter. Hmm, seriously, I'm starting to think that he should be the leader, he would say. As one of them would say this, specifically Tina. I honestly don't know. Maybe Um, maybe he wants to just be a normal kid, perhaps? Or just be a regular old student. I mean, I heard from Pyra that she actually wants to just be a normal student and just be treated as one, she would say. As Harmony would say this. Yeah, apparently that's what she said to me when we were talking to each other, she would say. As Walter would say this. Wait, you and Pyra actually getting along? You would say, as she would say this. Was that supposed to mean? She would say, said Harmony, as he would say this. Well, because of your personality and as before he can say anything else, as she would say this. So you're trying to piss me off, she would say, as he would say this. No, 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 I'm not really that type of boy. Besides, I prefer to respect women, he would say. As after saying that, she would say this. Whatever, she would say. As after saying that, we would go back to, Rex, as he would say this. Alright, time to make dinner, he would say. As after saying that, he would say this. So, Emiya, do you have any fried rice, recipes, he would say? As Emiya would say this. I have one, he would say. As he would say this. Sure, lay it down on me, he would say. As after saying that, he would get the ingredients from the fridge and also the cabinet. Wait for a second. Sorry about that. Anyway, continuing on, as when, Rex basically gets all of the ingredients ready, he would start cutting some onions, mostly green, and also some red and also some regular old white onions, and also getting the, some leftover rice which he gotten from his mother. The reason why is because before the day of the exam, or at least before the day of the, I meant not exam, I meant the initiation, he would basically eat dinner with her and would basically, do the whole thing, remember, sleep. And also, after, basically leaving to go to his new dormitory, he would also get a pack of bacon and he would start rendering some of the bacon into, into fat. After doing that, he would start burning the rice, some of the onions, and also getting some leftover peas and also some carrots and also getting some potatoes as well. Don't judge me. I just like, carbs. Anyway, continuing on, as after, cooking the rice and, the vegetables in there, he would start adding in the bacon, as after doing so, he would finish up the rice with a bit of egg. Or more like a few cups of eggs. So, after, doing so, he would basically, put them into bowls and put them on a plate. After doing so, he would say, "Hey guys, dinner's ready," he would say. As after saying that, all of them, and I mean all of them, I mean Walter, Tina, and Harmony would basically come into the dining room and they would say, smells pretty good, said Tina, she would say. As Harmony would say this. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of my mother's cooking, she would say. As Walter would say this. Well, I do declare this is certainly quite the delicious looking meal, he would say. As after saying that, he would say this. Now, dig in, he would say. As after Rex said that, all of them would start eating, as Tina would say this. Mmm, super good. I never really tried anything like this before, she would say. As Rex would say this. Well, this is sort of a recipe from an old friend of mine back in Mistral, he would say, obviously lying through his teeth. As Emio would say this. Well, I mean, you're not wrong, he would say. I mean, I was from Japan, or at least, well, I guess you can say Mistral in this case. As after saying that, in his mind, as Walter would say this. I never tasted rice before, and this is certainly quite the thing, he would say. As after saying that, he would grab another scoop of rice, or at least the fried rice, and he would start eating it once again. After doing so, they would basically finish up eating as they would go to sleep. So, the next day has come as everybody's basically doing their own thing, basically studying as they're currently in, their next class, aka, I think it was Ublex. Sorry about that, anyway, continue on as we would currently see Dr. Ublek. I'm gonna be calling him Doctor because that's what he usually prefers to be called, and mostly because it's much more, I guess you'd say easier. So, Dr. Ublick would basically just like do his whole thing, which is basically just like spouting. As while he was doing that, you clearly see some of the students almost struggling to try and read and also write down what he's saying, or at least write down what he's saying. Well, currently, all three of his teammates, Tina, Walter, and also Harmony, are currently struggling. But for him, it's basically just a normal Tuesday. The reason why is because, basically servant bullshit and also magic circuits. Basically, he's able to hear from in a much more slower pace, or at least that's what he thinks. It's basically because of his genes being that of a mage, and because of that, he's able to listen to things that are let's just say supersonic speeds. Like for example, Oobleck over there. As well, Rex is basically writing everything down, with ease. As we currently see, some of Team Ruby are currently just like confused, except for sort of for Wise, as Wise is currently, well, in fact, she seems to be, actually getting along with her teammates now, which kind of surprised him because of her, personality when he first met her. So, after a while of basically, just like listening to Ublek, they would finally, finish the class as Ublek would say this. So, be ready for the test tomorrow, he would say. As after saying that, one of them would say this. Specifically, oh, Yang, I should say. Wait, we had a test? She would say. Or at least we have a test tomorrow, she would say. He would say this. Yes, Mr. Xiaolong. But unfortunately, because you didn't listen, it seems that you had to listen to some of your other teammates or your fellow huntsmen, he would say, as he would basically, lift off his thermos as you drink coffee. That's what, Rex presumes. As he would say this. Now, run along, he would say, as after saying that, it was basically, wait for a second, and so after that, they would start leaving the classroom. As after, everybody's already left, including some of his, teammates, he would just be left there as he's currently packing all of his things. As he would be approached by Dr. Ublek, as he would say this. So, Rex, my boy, how's your powers doing exactly? He would say, as he would say this. Pretty good, Dr. Ublek, he would say, as he would say this. Good. I'm also quite curious about your powers. Ever since I learned about, well, magic from Ozpin, and he's the only one that actually told me besides Good Witch, I've been curious about your powers, especially with the ability of yours to summon your servants, as you call them, he would say, as he would say this. Oh, yeah, but I think it's better for you not to, talk to them. They're mostly loyal to me, and if you know, and because of your, well, let's just say, interesting personality, they would probably take it as an insult. You would say, as you would say this. Hmm, I see. Well then, if you may, be so kindly get going, please. He would say, as you would say this. Sure thing. He would say, as after packing all of his things, he would start leaving. So, after arriving, back at his dorm room with the rest of his, teammates, one of them would say this. School was pretty hard this day. Said, Harmony. School was kind of tiring this day, she would say. After saying that, Harmony would just look over and would see Rex, as Rex is just being calm, as she would say this. Hey, Rex, do you have any of the notes? She would say, as you would say this. Well, yeah. And, are you doing okay? He would say, as he would look towards Tina, as Tina would say this. Not fine. Especially with how, Professor Oobleck is so, well, she would say, as he would say this. "Hmm, I get what you mean. I mean, he's a bit of a, interesting talker, but still, he would say. As one of them would say this, specifically Walter. Yeah, I do have to agree. I couldn't even listen to some of the lectures, he would say. As you would say this. Anyway, um, tomorrow's going to be our rest, our sort of rest day before you would start stretching a little bit. Before the little test of of Dr. Oblex, he would say, as Tina would say this. Ooh, I know. How do we go to to Vale and basically go around? She would say, as he would say this. Doesn't seem like a bad idea. He would say, as after saying that, he would say this. Oh, yeah. And by the way, as he would look towards Tina, as he would say this, your tail a little bit. He would say, as she would say this. What about my? As she would look over and would see that some of the skin of her, tail is falling off. Or as she would say this. You're not supposed to see that, she would say. As he would say this. Are you perhaps molting, he would say? As she would say this. Please do not say it like that. It's sort of a sort of sensitive subject, she would say. As she would basically, have her tongue out a little bit, almost similar to, well, a snake. As he would say this. Oh, sorry about that, he would say. As she would say this. Uh, um, don't worry about it. Anyway, I should probably get to my room, she would say. As after saying that, she would start leaving, as Harmony would say this. Speaking of the bedroom, she would say. I'm gonna go get to bed, she would say. As after saying that, she would start leaving to go to, to the bedroom. As Walter would say this. I'm also pretty tired, partner. Uh, Night, Rex, he would say, as he would say this. Night, Walter, he would say, as after saying that, he would start, looking at the dishes that, you know, his, teammates have basically left, as he'd say this. Guess I'll start cleaning it, he would say. But before he can actually, clean the dishes, he would get a knock to the door, as he would say this. Wonder who's calling me, or at least knocking on the door, he would say. As after walking towards the door and opening the door, he would look over and would see Pyra, as he would say this. Oh, hey Pyra, he would say, as she would say this. Oh, hey Rex, she would say, as he would say this. So, why are you here? He would say, as she would say this. Well, you see, I've wondered, I was wondering if you could, you and me and some of my, friends could go to, to Vale with us, she would say. As you would say this. Really? Why? As she would say this. Well, you see, as we're going to be leaving this episode right off here. So yeah, I hope you liked the video, comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye!